If you want to prosper, pray correctly to God, because there is a very big difference between asking with anxiety and praying with confidence. Many people are tired, frustrated, and emotionally exhausted, not because God has abandoned them, but because they live trying to control the timing of the promise. They want immediate answers, instant signs, quick changes. But God does not work at the speed of human anxiety. God works in perfect timing. So before anything else, calm your heart now. Breathe deeply. Exhale slowly. Because what God has prepared for your life has not been cancelled. The prosperity that bears your name continues to come your way. Heaven has not lost your requests. God has not ignored your silent tears. And what seemed distant may be closer than you imagine. There is a prayer that drives away peace. It is the prayer made with fear. The desperate prayer. The prayer of someone who speaks to God, but deep down believes that nothing will happen. And there is another prayer, the one that moves the invisible. The prayer made with surrender, with confidence, with the inner certainty that God is already working even without apparent signs. Maybe you've spent months asking, God, when will it happen? But today, God wants to change your question. Instead of asking when, He wants you to learn to ask, how should I prepare to receive? Because prosperity doesn't begin with money. Prosperity begins in the mind. It begins with peace. It begins with the ability to believe before seeing. Many people want to experience great blessings while carrying a tired, negative mind, dominated by fear. But God doesn't pour something new into a heart that remains stuck in the old. First, He works within you. Then He transforms what is around you. And perhaps that's exactly what's happening now. Do you realize that something inside you has changed? Certain people no longer make sense. Certain environments no longer match your energy. Certain conversations tire your soul. This is not a coincidence. This is God preparing you for a new level. Because everything that is yours requires a new version of you. Take another deep breath. There is an invisible movement happening as you listen to these words. God is organizing paths. He is aligning encounters. He is removing distractions. He is closing doors that would prevent your prosperity from arriving. And perhaps you have called this loss. Perhaps you have cried over things that left your life without realizing that God was clearing the way for something greater. Not every goodbye is punishment. Not every silence is abandonment. Not every closed door is rejection. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes it is God saying, "This cannot enter the place I am preparing for you." You have not lost your destiny. Listen to this. You have not wasted your time. You have not been left behind. Heaven continues to work in your favor, even when everything seems to stand still. While you sleep, God works. While you wait, God moves situations. While you strengthen yourself in silence, God prepares opportunities. There is something powerful about God's timing. He never arrives too early so as not to hurt you, and He never arrives too late so as not to honor you. God's timing arrives exactly when your soul is ready to sustain what you have asked for. Perhaps before you asked for prosperity only to prove something to people. Perhaps you asked for growth carrying pride, neediness, or despair, but now something has changed within you. Now you understand that true prosperity is living in peace. It is sleeping soundly. It is not depending on the approval of others. It is living knowing that God is guiding everything. And it is precisely this maturity that brings your blessings closer. Because God doesn't just deliver resources. He delivers responsibility. He delivers expansion to those who have learned to trust Him in the process. Many people give up a second before the miracle happens. They give up because they only look at the visible world. But God always begins in the invisible. Before the door opens, there is spiritual movement. Before the opportunity appears, there is alignment. Before the harvest emerges, the root grows hidden beneath the earth. And perhaps your root is growing now. You may not see it yet, but something is maturing. Something is being prepared. There is a silent prosperity entering your life at this moment. A new mindset, a new direction, a new opportunity, a new connection. a new phase. And the most incredible thing is that what God has for you doesn't depend on current circumstances. It doesn't depend on the economy. It doesn't depend on people's opinions. It doesn't depend on those who doubted you. When God decides to prosper someone, even improbable paths begin to open up. That's why you need to stop feeding fear. Fear blocks your peace. And without peace, you can't hear God's direction. Anxiety makes you run. Peace makes you see. Perhaps God is trying to slow you down because what is yours will not be achieved in desperation. It will be received in alignment. There is a difference between pursuing something and allowing God to lead you to it. The more you try to control everything, the heavier it becomes. But when you truly surrender to God, something changes within your soul. Your heart rests, your mind clears, hope returns, and it is in this state of peace that the answers begin to appear. Perhaps in the coming days you will notice small signs, an unexpected conversation, different opportunity, an idea arising out of nowhere, a feeling of clarity, a sensation that something has finally begun to flow. Don't ignore it. Often God begins with silent movements before revealing big changes. God's prosperity doesn't arrive bringing confusion. It arrives bringing direction. It organizes your mind before organizing your financial life. Because money without balance destroys people. But prosperity with wisdom builds destinies. Perhaps today you are tired. Perhaps you are emotionally overwhelmed. Perhaps there are hidden worries that no one knows about. But listen to this deeply. God has not abandoned you. Everything you've experienced so far has been shaping your inner strength. The pain has taught discernment. The losses have taught maturity. The silences have taught dependence on God. The waiting has taught patience. Nothing has been in vain. There is a promise concerning your life. Something has been reserved for you since before you were born. And that which bears your name will find its way to you. You don't need to live in despair, afraid of missing opportunities. What is truly yours will be, guided by God until the right moment. And when that moment arrives, everything will make sense. You will understand why certain doors closed. You will understand why some people left. You will understand why some plans didn't work out. You will understand why God delayed certain answers. Because He was protecting you from living less than you deserved. Take a deep breath. Exhale slowly. Feel your mind slowing down now. A peace is entering your heart as you listen to these words. And that peace is confirmation that God remains near. Perhaps you've been praying wrong for too long. Perhaps you've only asked for quick results without realizing that God wanted to transform you first. But now something has changed. Now your soul begins to understand that prosperity isn't just about having. Prosperity is about becoming strong, becoming wise, becoming prepared, becoming someone capable of sustaining what God will deliver. Because what comes from God remains, and what God is building in your life will not be temporary. It will be solid. It will be stable. It will be greater than you imagined. A new cycle is beginning. A cycle of growth, a cycle of healing, a cycle of open doors, a cycle of abundance, a cycle of inner peace. But to enter this new cycle, you need to abandon the scarcity mindset. Stop believing you were born to suffer eternally. Stop repeating in your mind that nothing works out for you. Stop feeding thoughts that contradict God's promises. Your words have power. When you wake up believing that everything will go wrong, your mind closes itself off to opportunities. But when you begin to trust that God is guiding your steps, your energy changes, your posture changes, your faith changes, and the world around you begins to respond to this transformation. Because what happens inside you eventually appears outside of you. So declare now in your mind, God is preparing my prosperity. For what is mine is coming. I trust in God's timing. Nothing can stop the Lord's plans. My life is entering a new season. Take a deep breath. Release slowly. You have just aligned your mind with something powerful. Never underestimate what God can do suddenly. There are people who have spent years in silence, and in a single moment, had their lives transformed. Because when God's time comes, everything accelerates. Doors open, answers appear, paths connect, life flows, and perhaps you are entering exactly that period now. Something is moving toward you, something that already bears your name, something prepared in the unseen, something God has kept for the right time. And when it arrives, you will have no doubts. Your soul will recognize it. Your heart will feel peace. Because what comes from God does not bring confusion, it brings confirmation. So calm down. Stop fighting alone. Stop carrying unnecessary burdens. God remains in control. The prosperity that is yours is coming. The answer that is yours is coming. The opportunity that is yours is coming. The healing that is yours is coming. The new season that is yours is coming. And no one can stop what God has decided to give to your life.